Grand day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? I'm not quite sure what I'm going to name this transmission as of yet, but we're just going to jump on into it. So, I was dating this guy, and he told me in the morning, tell me what you dream about. And I'm like, why the hell would I tell you what I'm dreaming about? So I don't dream every night. However, it's so strange that I dreamt that day. And I don't know if he came to me in my dreams and told me what he wanted me to say without saying the words, right? But anyway, I sure enough, when I rose, I didn't remember any dreams if I had any. However, I took a nap earlier that day and I woke up about 10, 11, and in that time frame I had a dream. So I spoke to the individual and I asked the individual, I said, do you have anything you want to tell me? But I'm going to rewind real quick. So, in that time frame of me having that dream, I call it travels, but we're going to use dream for the sake of we all knowing what that means. And the dream revealed to me that he was in a relationship, married, dating, whatever it was, right? And he asked me, he said, well, why did you ask that? I said, well, is there anything, usually when a person asks a question with a question, they're trying to deviate from the question. So he said, well, that was a very specific question. Why would you ask me that? I said, I just want to know. Is there anything you want to tell me? It's so crazy because before I spoke with him, I asked his higher self, reveal to me what this person's intentions are. And we'll be surprised at how we receive information. The question is, are we ready to know the truth? Are we ready to receive? And I've used this technique before, but never did I think that I would dream about it, right? Just because someone's mouth says no does not mean that their spirit is not saying yes, right? My father used to use a particular phrase, know the spirit by the spirit, right? You know the spirit by the spirit. It is up to the individual who is seeking truth to use discernment and allow their intuition to do all of the scanning, right? All of the inquiring, all of the discerning. And that is what you listen to. Oftentimes, we'll ignore those subtle nudges because we'll question, how did I know that? Or how did I get that information? We don't need to know the how. We don't need to know how we got here. We here. We're on this floating rock. That's all that matters. We don't need to know what speaks to us. All we need to know is we got the information that we inquired about, we questioned, we wanted to know the truth that we needed. And what they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. Because we don't know how truth comes to us. We don't know how we receive this truth. So we want to question this truth. No longer do I. I know that there's a infinite intelligence that makes sure I am equipped, I am prepared, and I am in the know. So next time you get an intuitive hit, an intuitive nudge, a knowing about something and you don't know how, don't question that. Be thankful that you received it. Be thankful. I heard some months ago, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. I was like, yo, that defines everything for me. So with that being said, remember, the truth is stranger than fiction. Don't question how you got that truth. If anyone else questions it, this is what I tell people. The truth needs no proof. And with that being said, I love you. Peace.